Today is the feast of St. Michael and all angels, and the reading is appropriate to that occasion. A reading from the Gospel of John. When Jesus saw Nathanael coming toward him, he said of him, "Here is truly an Israelite in whom there is no deceit." Nathanael asked him, "Where did you get to know me?" Jesus answered, "I saw you under the fig tree before Philip called you." Nathanael replied, "Rabbi, you're the Son of God, you're the King of Israel." Jesus answered him, "Do you believe because I told you I saw you under the fig tree? You will see greater things than these." And he said to him, "Very truly I tell you, you will see heaven opened and the angels of God ascending and descending upon the Son of Man." Some of you may recognize that idea of the ladder stretching up to heaven, which is taken from the story of Jacob in Genesis, where he falls asleep and God promises to him that he's going to look after him and fulfill his promises to him. And here we see someone who's been looking for the Messiah, this man Nathanael, reassured that this really is the person he's found. He recognizes it in some kind of way instinctively by the quality of the person who is before him and by what Jesus has to say to him. But there's very little to go on. Clearly this is somebody who's been attuning himself to look for this Messiah. Indeed, just before this passage, Philip says, "I've found the one we've been looking for. And he's come from Nazareth." And Nathanael says, "Nazareth, you're kidding." But he goes to look anyway. And then he finds something that resonates within his soul. This is the one we've been looking for. Jesus, on the other hand, looks at him and also recognizes within him the quality of human person he is. He's watched him doing we know not what sort of conversations under the fig tree. But Jesus has spotted a man here of a certain caliber, a certain character, a certain quality. And the two meet as souls meeting. Why tell this story on the Feast of the Angels? I wonder when you last met an angel in your life. An angel doesn't have to have wings and doesn't have to have a biblical name. An angel is somebody who brings God's message. The angels only appear when they have a message to bring. That's their sole purpose. And it may be that somebody has said something to you recently that somehow shifted things in your life. Maybe that nice lady at the checkout said just what you needed to hear on the day when you were feeling low, and something shifted within you. And maybe somebody else has recognized that you're not at your best in some kind of way and has somehow brought a word of comfort. And you recognize when you look back, these were not just mere words. They have changed me in some way, maybe raised me up. A Catholic friend of mine recently opened the door to two religious people from a different tradition who wanted to come and persuade him about the message they had to offer. And he invited them in and had a good conversation with them. And in the course of meeting with these two people, who parted from him on good company, realizing he wasn't going to change his mind, he nevertheless recognized that God had sent them to bring something that arose in that conversation, which was a great comfort to him in his life. We are that for other people are that for us. And we get the quality of this ability because we are people who are on the lookout for the reality which is God. And so Jesus, in this case, taking the place now of Jacob, is the person upon whom the angels ascend and descend, not only giving testimony to who he was and what God was doing in him, but also bringing God's word to him, which he handed on to others. Look back in your life, notice who the angels have been in your experience, and perhaps it will help you to warm and encourage the sense of being on the lookout for them in life as it goes ahead for you from today.